tricks to running gun bunch. So we just teased this one when we showed you some tips on beating cover 2, which a lot of you guys are struggling with. This is some tips and tricks from Gun Bunch that can help you do exactly that. Cover 2, toughest defense in the game. Gibbs, show us how it's done.
So we're calling this the secret of the Gun Bunch, but it's not necessarily going to be a secret, but it's more importantly the secret of a Gun Bunch quads. And what that is you take a look at Gun Bunch Halfback Strong. There are 4 receiving options to the right of the quarterback. If I flip it, it's 4 to the left of the quarterback. Now you take a look at another formation that's similar. Gun Bunch quads, 4 receivers to the right of the quarterback. If I flip it, 4 receivers to the left of the quarterback. Now, what makes this so effective is the following thing. Now, we're going to call this not only the secret of the Gun Bunch, but we're also going to call it the most consistent read against cover 2 cloud flats that you're going to be able to have in your offensive arsenal. So let's first take a look at the Gun Bunch trail. It could be really any play from this formation. Now, because you are facing zone defense, you have a quads alignment to the one side of the field. So the left side of the field here, I have 4 receivers all flooding one part of the field. Now what ends up happening when you do that, the defense has to make a read on that and align to what is happening from the offensive formation. Because there's so many receivers on one side of the field, they need to match accordingly. So what ends up happening is you get match man on the outside solo receiver, which ends up being your halfback.
So instead of this guy playing his zone, he says, you know what, I got to man up Freeman, and I'm going to play him one-on-one. I'm not going to play my zone. Because zone would stop the out route, because he would drop and be in that area. But instead, because he mans him up, he's got to play him man-to-man.
Correct. Give me a baseline press. Give me set up the with your linebacker deep, middle linebacker deep. So to show you it again, what we do here is we place the outside receiver Freeman on an out, and then we're going to smart route it. You could just leave him on the out. That works too, but might as well get a bang for your buck. So what ends up happening is, again, you get that match man, you get a man alignment, which then is going to give you that consistent read against that cover 2 cloud flat, and that's what you want. What is the one thing competitive or Madden players want? Consistency. I want to know that this is going to happen when I do this, and that is what we're trying to show you here. Is
and what's good is if you then beat me 3 times, so I can stay in cloud flats. But if you then beat me 3 times, well then if I change it, that I'm in a hard flat, because you're going to get the same behavior every single time that zone is out there. But when I go to a hard flat, which is a different type of zone, the behavior is going to change. It's not going to match. He's going to stay there. So when he doesn't man him up right at the snap, you know what it is.
You instantly know, he will play that hard flat, and you can fit that out behind it as long as you have a drag underneath. So that's the key. Now they're going to go, okay, hard flat, I'm going to take it away. Not really. Because if you play a high-low, that becomes a curl-flat concept. A flat pattern with the drag, and then a curl the out. It becomes a curl-flat concept. High-low read, right, that they need to do to take it away. So the other thing you could do off of that is this. If you run a vertical behind that and they put a hard flat on that side, so put a hard flat over by Freeman.
Did it?
Let me see it. Just gotta see that to get
it,
you know? If you run this type of concept right here, if you run a drag to the tight end and a vertical to Freeman, you're going to get this canale right here. He's going to run down that sideline, bang, possession catch, big time play. And this is the cat and mouse you can play.
That's the thing with the hard flat. They don't want to do it every down because you get burnt for bigger chunks with hard flats. You want to play hard flats on like 3rd and 2, or when you think they finally think they've had enough. So the most times they won't want to go to hard flats. Like they'll give you this out a couple times, like all right, man, throw it again, and then they'll eventually try and take it away on 3rd and 2. But that's where you get those chunk plays, and that's critical.
The one thing to note: when you go and play cover 3, go play cover 3. You gotta watch out for this. Give me bring the safety that's like in that. Bring him up, and now just give me a pass commit. What you have to be careful of here is when they do change the defense. Like this is not a beat everything defense. It's specifically how to attack the cloud flats that we're seeing, right? A consistent read. So what ends up happening is if they do that, you better believe that curl flat's gonna get out there and make a play. So this is not oh my God, they've given us a play that's gonna beat everything. No, that's not what it is. It is not that. This is specific to cloud flats. This is specific to a cover 2, Tampa 2 style defense that is going to give you a consistent read against those defenses. Now,
so what's interesting about that is you showed it from Gun Bunch quads, and then people might say, well, I'm not going to use the Bills playbook, which has gun bunch quads, but there's other ways that you can make this formation. You can do it from gun halfback strong. You can also do it from other sets, and we'll show you how after we show you from gun bunch halfback strong. We'll show you some examples. I do this quite a few times when I need it. It's usually my first third and long of the game. I call this little trick.
So take a look at this. You can see the formation flow is very similar to that bunch quads, right? I have that post to Gabriel. I got Hooper on a drag, and I actually put Freeman on an option. We'll get into options at another point in Twim. I'm starting to really like the option route against these zone defenses because they turn and sit, and we'll break it down further, but this is a setup you have right here. So snap of the ball, I get that match man on the right side. He didn't get the good break on it, and that's fine. He's not always going to get a great break. But what you're going to find is you're just trying to get yourself, what's that consistent read? What's that play that's going to, I know I can always sort of count on, that what you want is you want to take your opponent out of a defense where they don't do anything. And for the most part, what we're seeing from these cover 2 defenses is you're getting competition, players that you might say, I'm better than this guy. I know I'm schematically better than this player. But they're able to call defenses, and they don't have to do anything, and they're stopping you, right? Other than put the middle linebacker in a deep zone, that's what's happening. So when you add this to what you are doing on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to force your opponent to do something. Now, the best players in the world will adjust accordingly, make plays, but the vast majority of people that you play, they're not going to make the right adjustments. They're just not. So you're going to get this read to be something that you can consistently have in your offensive arsenal. So make sure you have a good route run over. That's the key there, too. Remember?
Right. The other piece, and look, Freeman did better than Sanu.
He did.
That's very interesting. The other thing is you can make this set. So if you go through your playbook and you go, I don't have 4 dudes on one side, let's see if we can find an example of how to motion the halfback or motion a receiver over. So if you're in, you don't want that because you want the guy out wide. Keep going,
That would probably work with the tight end.
That would probably work. Keep going.
No.
You want them wide. So that set. Call that set. I would call 4 verticals, or I'd call, whatever play has a deep post. And what I do, because I don't really use those sets much, you got to take Freeman off the purple. You got to put him on something else. You motion him. Now you got 4 dudes. So now it'll still work because you had 3 dudes, but now you got 4 dudes. And Julio Jones should match man, and he'll crush his guy. So you don't need that's those 2 specific sets we showed. You can do it from any set. Although when you motion the guy, they're gonna know. He's probably doing this.